Next up, at UFC 311, we have a new matchup. Zach Reese has a brand new opponent. And while all of us are very disappointed because Zach Reese was free money in his last matchup, we do have an interesting go at it here. We got Zach Reese taking on Azamat Bekoev. Zach Reese 8-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off a wrestle-heavy win over Jose Medina. He's taking on Azamat Bekoev, 18-3 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5, and he is making his short-notice UFC debut. Zach Reese, a really big guy for this weight class, and it's going to be interesting because Azamat's not big for this weight class, but Zach Reese is 6'4". He uses that size. He uses that strength. He's very tightly wound on the feet. When he lets go, it is full-blown power. The term I've been using is uncorking. He can wrestle as well. It's not great, and he doesn't always use it, but it is there. He does use that length. He'll wrap you up, drag you to the ground. When he gets on the ground, he's got very good jiu-jitsu. Sometimes it's too good, and he'll play that jiu-jitsu game off of his back. He is coming off a decision win over Jose Medina, where he landed with power and went all in on the wrestling. He's taking on Azamat Bekoev, UFC newcomer, stepping up on short notice, but he is a very well-rounded guy, and I do believe this shot is well-deserved. He has powerful strikes, solid takedown defense, solid takedown offense, and solid BJJ. He's good pretty much everywhere. The technique is not the cleanest, and he isn't particularly fast, but he's very powerful, and he uses that power well. His takedowns are big, heavy. He will straight up pick you up. Many of them are slams. He's got big, heavy strikes with huge right hands. He's a pretty small guy for this weight class, but he does close distance well. He pushes forward, and he has plenty of cardio. I do hate that SD Dumas dropped because Zach Reese was like, there's no locks in this sport, and Zach Reese is as close as you're going to get. SD Dumas was too focused on trying to fight some rapper and starting some beef than he was on fighting an actual professional MMA fighter. SD is terrible. Zach would have run through him, and now Zach has a very different matchup. Now Zach's going to be defending takedowns. Now Zach needs to worry about what's coming his way and not just what he's going to do offensively. As long as short notice doesn't screw anything up, I think Bekoev's the better fighter. I like the takedowns. I like the power in his hands. I still have some PTSD with Magomed Gaziasulov last week and that bullshit cardio. But I do think Azamat's going to get it done, and I like him here. And these odds are already starting to move. He was minus 185 about 4 or 5 hours ago, and I think he's minus 250 now. Maybe it's rebounded a bit, but those odds went wild. They literally were just released in the last couple of hours.
He's minus 250. He's minus 250 on Zach Reese, but plus 210.
Okay, who do you think wins this fight?
Yeah, I've been a Zach Reese hater. There's no doubt about that, right? And I sat here whenever that was, and I warned Angelo. He had Zach Reese in what we would call a safety parlay, and I said, I know my guy Cody Brundage, and he is going to fucking knock this guy out because Zach Reese does not move his head off the fucking center line, and Cody's got a nice right hand, and he's going to fucking put this guy out. Not exactly how it played out, but you saw it was the right call. Cody Brundage picked him up, slammed him down out of an armbar attempt, and knocked him out. I was a Zach Reese hater. I am a known. I will always tell you guys when I'm biased or anti-biased against a certain fighter. I thought that he was a little bit fraudulent. And then I see kind of the bounce back from that first loss, because how do you really bounce back from a loss? He fought like who's the fight after that one? He
fought the porn star
Julian Marquez, who Cody Brundage, coincidentally enough, is fighting in March 1st. He fought Julian Marquez and finished him. And then he fought a very tough, durable Jose Medina. And Zach Reese was coming off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, all ended in the first round, 7 of them with finishes. And there was a lot of question marks on how is this guy going to look after the first round when he starts running into tougher opponents. And while Jose Medina didn't offer a lot offensively, he still made Zach Reese work. And you saw that Zach Reese through 3 rounds is okay, right? He's not going to be like crazy. He was able to get takedowns and offensive control when he needed it, when he's a little bit tired on the feet. Is he going to be able to do that against a guy like Azamat? I don't know. But is Azamat going to be as durable as Jose Medina was in that first round? I don't know. Because Zach Reese fucking throws some fucking shit. He will put caution to the wind, and he will come with heavy kicks. He will come with heavy hands. And if you try to grapple, especially early, he will come in with very, very aggressive jiu-jitsu. So, while Azamat should win this fight, he's not just some regional guy. He's at ATT. He trains with the top people, Moicano, fucking Dustin Poirier, all these people, all this the same around the weight class. He trains with these high-level people. So he's not a bum. He's not a regional guy. But when I'm watching tape, and I'm watching him go 5 rounds in a split decision with Dylan fucking Budka, right? And I got Zach Reese in front of me at plus 200 odds. I'll be goddamn if this fight was announced on Sunday, Zach Reese would probably be my lock of the week. He's not, because I already worked on some different fucking video, and I'm not going to scrap all that. But I'm going Zach Reese here. I think he is very dangerous, has proved he is, kind of live through 3 rounds. And Azamat and his striking seems a little bit stiff. His wrestling is just kind of okay to me, right? When you're getting out scrambled and Dylan Budka is fucking,
no,
it's like
that wrestling, scramble and wrestling is, dude, his takedowns are good. He will pick you up and just slam you down.
You didn't watch the Dylan Budka fight, or Dylan Budka was like out scrambling on, was taking him
scrambling
down,
and takedowns are different things. And Zach Reese just accepts takedowns because he's a jiu-jitsu nerd. So he's like, yeah, you got to take me down.
He scrambles into chokes off his back. He initiates scrambles, and when you can't really scramble real well with control, like Azamat can't, that's when you get caught and stuff. I think Zach Reese is extremely live early and could even win a decision here. I'm going with Zach Reese. I like it.
I'm on the other side. Listen, I like Zach Reese as well. I threw him in a safety parlay. I think Zach Reese is good. I just feel like Azamat, I'm glad you mentioned he's not a regional bum. And now there are some fights on there that, whatever, but he is at the right teams, doing the right things. This is a well-deserved UFC shot. He's small. My biggest concern here is his size. Dude, 5'11" at middleweight is like, he's not big.
Yeah, good luck.
And he's not thick either. Man. He's not thick either. I think he'll close the distance, no problem. Dude, I think he just bombs away, close that distance, ragdoll Zach to the ground, and then Zach is going to be perfectly comfortable there, not trying to stand up, throwing up arm bars and triangles, and they're not going to matter. That's how I think this goes. We'll see. It's an interesting short notice switch up for sure. We can all agree that Zach Reese went from guaranteed winning to we got a competitive fight in our hands here. And that's kind of an unfortunate switcheroo for him because your opponent drops, you're kind of hoping for a favor or two, which he did not get. No DraftKings pricing. This fight was literally just announced yesterday, I believe. So we don't have DraftKings pricing just yet. We do have odds, and those odds are continuing to move. He opened at minus 250. It tightened immediately, and then it widened back up. So now we're back to where we started at the minus 250 odds for UFC newcomer Azamat Bekoev. I do got a bet here. And if you do want to check out the bet that I got doing, you can do so now at WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's only $10 for an entire month. You'll get all the picks, the bets, and tools for this event. You'll get all the picks and bets and tools for UFC Saudi Arabia and whatever the hell the events are after that.
I can't wait for these props for this fight to drop.
The round line dropped.
For the props to the fight to drop. For the props for the fight to drop. I can't wait for the props.
Let me know when you wrap up that song so I can move to the next fight. Nice clean break. I need the clean breaks.